All right, happy Monday. Welcome into the show. This is Philadelphia 76ers Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Hope all of you out there had a fantastic weekend. Another fantastic show on the docket, and coming up on the episode, 5 free agent targets that the Sixers could sign in NBA free agency. First, sub for some Sixers dubs. If you're looking for free daily content on the Philadelphia 76ers, news, rumors, analysis, live shows, watch parties, we have you covered right here on the show. So hit that subscribe button down below, as we just recently surpassed 13,000 subscribers. So the Sixers roster right now, when you look at it from Nick Nurse's perspective, with the potential big trade looming here, the Sixers could have needs later this season. You think about another piece that the Sixers could add to this roster alongside Tyrese Maxey, as well as Joel Embiid. Tobias Harris playing really good ball. If you want to bring in another legit player, you might have to ship some assets out. So with that, who could the Sixers replace some of those trade assets with in NBA free agency? First player we want to talk about here is Danny Green. And Danny Green, for obvious reasons, has familiarity with the Sixers organization. When he was let go after the whole James Harden trade and all of the players that the Sixers got back, there was a report out there from Shams Charania that the Sixers and Green have mutual interest in another reunion. It would be their third now, down the road if the Sixers needed to bring a player in. And when you think about Danny Green, obviously he's at the tail end of his career, but he's been an impactful player on some championship-level teams. He won a title with the San Antonio Spurs. He won a title with the Toronto Raptors. He won a title with the Los Angeles Lakers. He signed back with the Sixers before training camp after ACL surgery, shot 46% from three during the preseason, cut following that James Harden trade to open up a couple of roster spots. I don't envision a role in which Danny Green is going to play significant minutes for this team, but what he does provide you with, if you lose a bench man, a three-point shooter, a savvy defensive player, is a veteran 3-and-D presence. Could replace Marcus Morris, who's struggled a little bit. And in fact, to me, I think he's been a little bit disappointing, has Morris been. Hasn't been the type of bench rotational piece that I thought he could be because of everything that he's shown and been throughout his NBA career. If you want to stick with another wing here who can also play a little hybrid guard, that would be Terence Davis. He's been in the league for a really, really long time. Him, like Danny Green, toward the tail end of his career, you look at what he's done over his last 4 years, the production declining a little bit. A lot of people liked him as a Sixers trade target when they were still, looking for wings and forward types and guard hybrids back a couple of years ago when he was playing with the Orlando Magic. In 2022-2023, 64 games played, so he still played a fair amount. Just under 7 points per game, north of 2 rebounds, 42% from the floor, 36.5% from three-point range. In 2021-2022, the points per game were up, but those three-point numbers down a little bit. If he could kind of hover between 36-38% from three, not a guy who's going to get a lot of minutes, but a guy who can fill in the back end of the rotation off the bench for the Sixers. Not really known for his defense, but I'll tell you this about Terence Davis. He's a solid bench scorer. He still has a little bit of wiggle. He could create a little bit on the offensive end of the floor. And while he is a little bit of a weakness on the defensive end, some energetic minutes coming off the bench to put the biscuit in the basket. JaMychal Green is an interesting name because when it seemed like the Golden State Warriors signed him last year, and when he's getting some playoff minutes for the Dubs in a couple of really good playoff series, first-round series that spanned 7 games against the Sacramento Kings, and then that second-round series against the Los Angeles Lakers, you, of course, want to look into something like this. Now, I think that Nicolas Batum is probably the roadblock in front of JaMychal Green being signed. Did play limited minutes last year with the Warriors, but what he offers you is a little bit of versatility. He can play the 4, little small ball 5, 6'8", 227 pounds. Last year, 6.5 points per game. And then you look at the three-point numbers, mostly camps out in the corner. But when he's connecting on about 38% of his three-point attempts, that's not too shabby at all, at 54% from the floor. He is a flexible big who can shoot and play along the perimeter. He is a poor man's Nicolas Batum. I love the fit the impact, the role that Batum has taken on. Hopefully he can continue to play consistent basketball with Philadelphia, not missing games sporadically because of these personal reasons. Obviously, hope everything is good on that front. I'm just more so being complimentary of him as a basketball player. So do the Sixers need to add another player? More free agents coming up just around the corner, but we want to open up the comment section. We want to hear from you. So get that feedback in. Give us a Y for yes or an N for no. We want to welcome on a brand new sponsor here on 76ers Now. It is Factor Meals. You can get 50% off with the code NBAChat50. This holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, convenient meals to keep you energized on jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help fuel you up. Fast for breakfast, fast for lunch, fast with dinner, with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. So convenient, tastes good, quality food. You're missing out if you're not hopping on the Factor train. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tackling all of your holiday to-dos, because we all know meal prep can take a really long time. You look at the meals on the screen here, they look so tasty, but you can also pick your pre-made meals, a couple of different options. You can go keto, vegetarian, protein heavy, prepped and cooked to your perfection. You heat it up and you enjoy it. So one more time, that's factormeals.com. Use the code NBAChat50. All of that information is available for you down in the comment section and in the description of this video. Will Barton, for him, has some Philadelphia ties. He has declined a lot over the last couple of years, and his role has gone from one where he was a playoff contributor with some speed, explosiveness, ability to create, extend the floor, hitting threes, to him not even being able to stick with the team and being involved in a lot of trades. First involved in trades because he was looked at as a pretty solid option spot starter coming in off the bench. I mean, you look at the digits here, 2019-2020, 15 points per game, 37.5% from three. He does have the tendency to play hero ball a little bit. 2020-2021, though, almost 13 points per game, 38% from three-point range. And then in the last 2 years, he's still been around 36.5% from three, but you see the points per game going down a lot and hasn't been able to consistently remain with one organization. Plenty of playoff experience, and that's why the decline of him makes this somewhat confounding, because he's a proven scorer off the bench. A lot of people are in need of that. A lot of people and teams value that in his career. He's played 29 games in the postseason, able to average 10 points per game, 4 rebounds, and just under 34% from three. Obviously, this three-point number is not all that good, but a guy who can help you in the scoring department, and a lot of teams out there need some help in the scoring department. Lastly, Justise Winslow, a decline for him. Really liked his game, his versatility coming out of Duke, and then injuries started to rack up. And like some of the other players on this list, I mean, he's just clearly lost a step. Barely played last year, barely has played over the last several years after suffering all these injuries. A lefty who I liked his game coming out of Duke because you look at the size, 6'6", 222, had some creation ability, and with that good size, had some good muscle, was never able to really be a consistent knockdown three-point shooter, and his shooting efficiency went down, but some good playmaking, some good vision. But again, I think those injuries have held him back, and they've just taken away some of those athletic gifts that he had a little bit early in his career. Provides playmaking on offense. Kind of looked at him as like a Ben Simmons light, poor man's Ben Simmons, and a solid defensive presence on that wing. If he could stay healthy, back end of the bench, I'd like to see him prove it and sign a prove-it deal, just not with a team like Philadelphia, because this is a squad that has championship aspirations. So 5 players that we talked about on today's show. Just a quick little update as far as some free agents out there on this fine Monday. Which of these players would you want the Sixers to sign? Drop us a name down in the comment section. You want to give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, you can find me there at Chase_Senior. And don't forget to subscribe.